wouldn't tell a lot of people when I was going through the stuff that I was going through, meaning the insecurities, the feeling like an outsider, the not knowing where I fit, if the man that I married is, really, into me, or is he going to take his first wife's side on everything that she says? Is he going to divorce me because if she's not too happy with it? All these different things. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your coach, Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. And with Outstanding Personal Relationships and on this channel, we do a number of videos that focus on the growth of ourselves, as well as how we want to improve in our relationships, as well as our marriages. And we do a lot of focus of that on polygyny. So if you like that type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring. And so in this video, I'm going to give, this is going to be a story time video, pretty much. I have not done a lot of story time videos, and especially about my journey in polygyny, but hey, this is what this one is about. So if you like more story time content, make sure you share it and let us know in the comments. Give a thumbs up for that and hit that like bell, or that like button. Now, this one is about having really true friends in polygyny. Polygyny is not a form of marriage where people believe that polygyny is not a form of marriage that people are really just into. We'll just say that for the most part, because of the way that it's presented in society, and monogamy is really heavily pushed. Not that there's anything wrong with monogamy or anything bad with monogamy. It's just that polygyny doesn't get its fair share, like I stated earlier, that so people look at it as a legalized form of cheating. I've heard that on a number of occasions. People think that women who are open to polygyny are either ones with low self-esteem, or that they're just crazy, or they can't find their own man, and all these other things like that, which gives a negative view on what polygyny actually is. Now, this video, I'm not going to get into all those different things. We have a number of videos about that on our channel. However, I am going to give you some insight or a story about how I found a really good friend while I was in my beginning part of polygyny, the beginning stages of polygyny for me. And I'm trying to think if I've known this person before, a little bit before polygyny, or afterwards. And it probably was actually, I came in contact with her maybe after I started practicing polygyny, or actually our husband started practicing polygyny. Anyway, before OPR, before Coach Nyla, I wouldn't say really prior to Coach Nyla, because I used to do videos, and I used to write about healthcare for women, like just caring for yourself, self-care, natural, holistic type of care, natural beauty, all that other stuff like that. And I created a book. I wrote a book about natural. It was a recipe book. It's Naturalistas Do It Yourself recipe book. So I wrote this book. I sold some copies of the book. I used to do different events, like different types of, what were they called? Different types of expos. So I used to be at expos. I used to do those different things. And I used to promote my book. And I used to promote my coaching. I used to promote my services, those type of things. And it was a lot of fun. And I came across a woman who actually lived in the same city that I lived in, who ordered a book from me. And she ordered the book, and I actually had my son drop the book off to her house, because she actually, not only did she live in the same city. She actually lived in the same neighborhood I lived in. So that was really crazy. I never met her though. I didn't physically meet her until sometime later. I was doing an expo in the city, and she happened to come to my table. She came to my table when I was actually doing a class at the expo. So I didn't see her until I was done with my class. My cousin happened to be speaking to her while she was at my table because my cousin helped me at the event. And she was actually a client of my cousin. My cousin used to do her hair, used to be her hairdresser. So it was just really interesting how we came to know each other. She came to the table to meet me because she bought my book. She wanted to see who the person was and just different things like that. So we spoke. And after that, we just continued to keep in touch with one another. I don't know how our relationship kind of flourished into what it is and what it was during my beginning stages of polygyny, but I'm so glad that she was a part of my life then, because this was the one person that I actually spoke to about the things that were going on, or how I was feeling, not really a lot of the things that were going on. Because as I stated before in a number of my videos, those who are familiar with them, that I didn't want anyone to have a particular view of polygyny. I didn't want people to have a particular view of Islam, because I'm a Muslim, I'm a practicing Muslim, and I'm a practicing Muslim who is involved in a polygynous marriage. So I didn't want any of the problems that I was having or the feelings that I were having that were not positive through my marriage and through my journey in polygyny at the beginning. I didn't want that to be something that other people would see and then they will blame the religion or they'll blame the form of marriage, which I was very aware of the form of marriage, and that it was a permissible form, and it still is a permissible form of marriage, and that, my practice of Islam is a beautiful thing. The deen is gorgeous. The deen is beautiful. So, and it allowed me to be a better person anyway. So I didn't want them to get any negative type of stereotype or anything like that. So I wouldn't tell a lot of people when I was going through the stuff that I was going through, meaning the insecurities, the feeling like an outsider, the not knowing where I fit, if the man that I married is, really, into me, or is he going to take his first wife's side on everything that she says? Is he going to divorce me because if she's not too happy with it? All these different things I was nervous about, and I was going through, especially even through the transition period, where I did feel that he leaned more over to trying to make sure she was accepting of everything that was going on, and that he was catering more to her feelings than mine. That's what my feelings were. Regardless of if that was the way it was or not, that's how I felt at the time. But I couldn't express that to him because I didn't want him to feel bad. I didn't want him to not only feel bad, but I did not want him to, make me feel bad for feeling the way that I was feeling. I just didn't know what to expect during that time. And I also didn't want, like I stated, anybody else to feel a certain way. So I didn't feel like I can talk to him about that, how I was feeling about our situation, nor could I talk to my mother about the situation, because I did not want her to be like, oh, my baby, and, everything is wrong and everybody else is wrong and my baby is right. I did not want any of that. So, but this friend was just a great person, because I can tell her how I felt, and she would not tell me to get a divorce. She would not have any ill feelings or anything bad to say about my husband, about my co-wife, about anything, because she didn't have the whole story anyway. The thing was, she knew that her friend wasn't happy, that she was feeling a type of way. Me, I wasn't feeling, I wasn't feeling in a peaceful loving place at the beginning. And she knew that, and she could easily just have taken my side and conjured up anything. She could have conjured up that my co-wife was being mean. She could have conjured up that my husband wasn't being attentive. She could have conjured up a lot of stuff like that, and she didn't. And I know that she didn't because she never said it to me. And she is still my friend to this day. She's met my co-wife. She's been, my husband, actually even, I think, done some coaching with her, or some a type of therapy session with her, because she was looking for some assistance and different things like that. So she looks at this family as just, she doesn't look at us in a negative way, even though she was around during the craziness at the beginning. Because we told you, those who are familiar, that it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows and things like that. And it was a heavy transition that we had to go through. We all had to go through. So she would, if I was feeling away, she would say, hey, let's go eat somewhere. Let's go do something. Let's take a walk. And that would be that's what she would do. We wouldn't focus on the hurt that I was feeling, or the pain, or the loneliness, or any of that. We didn't even talk about that. I would say a few things, and she was like, you know what? I understand that you're going through some stuff and everything like that, but I think that it's going to work out. I believe it's going to work itself out. And she's like, let's go somewhere. Let's do something fun. And that's what she'll do. So the true friends, if you have friends like that, oh my gosh, hold on to these friends, because the true friends in polygyny, if you're going through some insecurities or some uncertainty or anything like that, your true friends are going to be the ones that are going to pump you up. They're not going to be the ones that are going to disrespect your co-wife, disrespect your husband, feed in negative information and things like that, and asking you what my co-wife calls violent questions. I love that word when she says that, because it really is violent when a person says to you, well, why aren't they doing this? Like, asking you questions that you can't answer, but it's going to cause you to think negatively about the situation, or it's going to cause you to overthink the situation. And then you start to be uncertain and feel a negative way. So, a true friend is not going to be that person. A true friend is going to shift your focus to the positive. Shift your focus to being grateful. Shift your focus to having you ask yourself the proper questions on how you want to handle the certain situations that you must handle, but they are not going to feed into negativity. Even if you are being negative, even if you are stressed out about something and you're saying mean things, they're going to be the ones that are going to tell you what you need to hear, not always what you want to hear. So, and that person has been that person to me, and I try to be that person to her. So, and I know people are like, oh, who is she? What is her name? And everything like that. I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But I'm just going to get her permission to be able to put her name out there and everything like that. And if I do, I'll put it out there. But I'm pretty sure, because she actually told me before that I can actually put her name in the book. So I just want to make sure, though. I want to make sure that I can, use her name before I just blurt it out. And like I said, she's a really good friend, so I don't think that it will be a problem when I'm giving her a lot of these kudos. But if you have that type of friend, make sure you keep that friend and don't push them away and push them aside because you think that they don't understand you, or they're not on your side. If they don't side with you when you're being mean or when you're being I want to say unruly, but when you're just not being your best self. So, those are the good friends, and those are the friends that's in polygyny. I hope you guys like the story time. If you got some good information, definitely give this a thumbs up, like, share. Sharing is caring. And let me know in the comments a time when you had a really amazing friend in your life, regardless of if it was someone who helped you during a hard time in polygyny or someone who just helped you through a hard time, period. whether it could be a loss of someone or just helping you move or helping you set your house up, whatever it is. Give me a great story in the comments about having that wonderful friend in your life. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Hope you guys like this story time. Inshallah, I will see you in the next one. Make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.